Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge the Akim who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, and shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is Shabai from GMS Denver, and I'm going to go in today on the third chapter in the book of James. Okay, so let's start at, let's see, let's start at verse 1. It reads, "My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we all shall receive the greater condemnation. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man and is able also to bridle the whole body." And we were going in on this in our lesson last night a little bit. You know, it really speaking about the tongue. You know, you gotta learn to control your tongue. Know when there's a right time to speak, and know when the wrong time to speak. And also more importantly, you gotta when you teach, you have to teach sound doctrine. All right, because that's what defiles you, is if you're teaching, if you're teaching the wrong doctrine, that's what's going to defile you more than, like Yahweh Shai said, what comes out of your mouth defiles you more than what goes in your mouth. All right, it says in verse 3. Oh wait, I didn't read all two. It says, "The same is a perfect man and able also to bridle the whole body. Behold, we put bits in the horses' mouths that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body." Right. So it compares it to the, controlling a horse. With the bit and the bridle. Let me see real quick. There's a precept I want to grab. How is it in? Ecclesiastes 5, maybe? Yeah. Ecclesiastes 5, it says, in 1, it says, "Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High, for the Most High is in heaven and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by the multitude of words." Okay? So just going into, again, knowing when to talk, knowing when to talk, You want to, it says here, be more ready to listen, right? Be more ready to hear. And then it goes on to say, let thy words be few. Especially when you're at the house of the Most High, when you're, like, for example, when men come to the camps and they want to be the teacher, they want to try and teach us something, that's a foolish thing to do. Let's see, James 3. and 4. "Behold also the ships, which though they be so great, and are driven of fierce winds, yet they are turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth." You see? So you got this tiny little contraption that basically turns the boat, even though the boat's huge, you know. It's comparing it basically to the tongue, you know, and that bit that controls the horse, right? The horse's whole body from that little bit. It says, verse 5, even so the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and is set on fire of hell. All right, so you have to understand the power that comes with your tongue, the power that comes with your words, you know? And you got to be able to understand how to control your tongue, right? Let me see if I can get a quick preset. You know, what you say is, you know, could either make you or break you, in other words, you know. Let's see. Yeah, let's grab this too. Proverbs 21 and 23. It says, whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. So you gotta, you know, you don't want to be saying foolish things, or, you know, you speak the wrong thing in the wrong place and somebody might whoop your ass. You know what I mean? So the words are powerful, and you gotta learn how to control the tongue. And when you're teaching, you definitely want to control your tongue and speak the right things. You want to speak sound doctrine. All right. Let me go back to James 3. Verse 7. For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of serpents, and of the things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind. But the tongue can no man tame. It is unruly evil, full of deadly poison. You see how powerful words can be? It even compares it, you know, to beasts can be tamed, serpents can be tamed, birds can be tamed. You know, they got zoos and shit. But the tongue, man, who can tame it, you know? Verse 9. Therewith bless we the Most High, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of the Most High. You see, so that's what it is. You know, that's how powerful and how much power the tongue has. Is you know, you can bless somebody with words, and you can curse somebody with words, right? Speaking about the tongue, which the word tongue is actually, it means languages, right? But you know, in this context, you know, it's that metaphor, that parable, just dealing with what the things we say and the power behind our words, whether they be curses or whether they be blessings. You know, it's a powerful thing. So, you know, let me get this word for you. Excuse me, real quick. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's glossa. Let's see.
Strong's G 1100.
Glossa. Let me see if I can turn that up. Yeah, I can turn it
up. Strong's G 1100. Glossa.
Glossa. That's tongue. Let me see. And for the definitions here. It says the tongue, a member of the body, an organ of speech. See, so that's the organ of speech, is that tongue. And it can curse you and you can bless you, or you can use it to curse or you can use it to bless. You know, there's lots of power in your words, man. Lots of power in the tongue. All right, let's get back to James 10. Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so to be. Doth a fountain send forth the same place sweet water and bitter? See? So there's balance with the tongue, all right? Can a fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either a vine figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh. Who is as a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works in meekness of wisdom. Right, so don't count anybody wise until you hear them speak. You see? And really, when it comes to this knowledge and this truth, you know, this is what we use as discernment, are the scriptures. To recognize what's good and what's evil, who has wisdom and who's just nothing but a fool, you see? But verse 14, but if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. So let's keep reading verse 16. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. Right. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. Right. So the wisdom from above is the wisdom from, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, the scriptures. This is the wisdom that we have. And but again, there's a time and a place. Because we know that the scriptures is not all about peace too. We know that there's going to be destruction, there's going to be war, and it's all going to be open. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is open to war, right? He's a man of war. They're men of war. But, going back to that tongue, and the power of the tongue is hey, you can be blessed by your tongue or you can be cursed by the tongue. So just always consider that, all right? And I'm going to close out. I got to get ready for work. So I'm going to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.